Alright guys, we're doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to be reviewing my trade with y'all directly. So I'm going to watch my recording from yesterday. You know, sometimes when it's a little too clear, a little too obvious where we're going to go, we end up not going all the way there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we like took out this draw, then retraced, and tried to fill in this gap a little bit later in the week. And then like on fucking Thursday or Friday, we shoot up to take out all some highs. Alright guys, the first thing I want y'all to notice about this chart is look at this new week opening gap. From the new week opening gap, we are now 1,000 points up. So extremely potentially bullish, but also potentially overextended. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. Alright, so right here, this was pretty much the first setup right at the open. So at the open, we pushed lower, took out some of this liquidity, flipped back to the upside. We had already closed above this high, and then right here we started to rebalance and displace higher. So like right there would have been a great entry, but again, like I've told y'all, the one candle rebalance and displacement entries, I've been a little bit more calm off of those shits. I don't like taking them as much right now because for some reason I'm misreading them. I'm not sure exactly what's different yet, but I do know if I just simply wait for a Sibby or Bissy disrespect, or I wait for a proper rebalance candle. So if we're bullish, I wait for a proper bearish candle and then an expansion beyond it. Or if we're bearish, I wait for a bullish candle and then an expansion beyond it. Usually that will increase my win rate. I will miss out on some moves. I will miss out on some risk to reward, but overall it will help me out. So that's what I'm focused on right now. That's why I didn't end up taking this trade. Let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, right here, this was the first trade. Okay, we closed above that high, filled this gap. So if we start to displace right here, I'm gonna take this. All right, so that's the main reason why I took this trade. We had an SMT that got invalidated. We swept out this high, we rebalanced, and then we continued pushing up. Now right here, we did invalidate some bissies after a sweep. So theoretically, that would be great for shorts. But we had just pumped up 1,000 points and we were near all-time highs. So I was very bullish at this point. So once we closed above this high, this candle rebalanced it. We rebalanced this candle right here. Now, I just told you I don't like the one candle rebalance displacement entries. But the thing that was different about this one is that when we opened up right here on this candle, there was a gap from this wick to this open. We came down and we filled that gap, and then we started rejecting. So I was very confident that we would come to the next draw on liquidity. Okay, now let's watch it play out. So right there, we pretty much hit my stop. I had my stop a little bit lower than this just in case we wanted a proper rebalance. So obviously I didn't want displacement through this low. That's why the stop was still there. But I kind of wanted a bit of a looser stop so I could gauge price myself. Oh, did I close this one manually? Because I lost a lot less on this trade than I thought I would. I closed it early. That's why I lost so much less than I thought I would have lost. Alright, oh, I only lost 300 though. That's pretty solid. I still think we're gonna push up, bro. Jesus Christ, bro, these setups literally would fucking hit for me so much. Did y'all see it look like I was flicking myself off? Y'all saw that? Above a high. Hey gang, shut the fuck up, man. Y'all saw me, I flicked myself off. Y'all saw that? That shit was cool. Alright, but yeah, basically here I was getting really frustrated because, again, these setups would hit for me when I backtest, like, constantly. So I didn't understand why it lost. I don't know why they're just failing. They just keep fucking failing.
It's extremely frustrating, guys.
I'll be honest, it is extremely frustrating. I still don't really know why they're failing now compared to when they were hitting like this, like dead ass. They were just smacking. But the market conditions change. We're trading a discretionary model. Like, yes, there's mechanics behind it, but overall it's very discretionary. So I have to be able to adapt, and that's why I made adjustments today. Now, today I made adjustments. This trade is from Monday. Today is Tuesday. Today, on Tuesday, I made adjustments. I took a great trade where the rebalance happened individually and the displacement happened individually. And it's still fucking lost. Yes, it's still lost. But I wasn't as irritated about it today. It was just like, damn, like what the fuck? Bro, I didn't tilt. I didn't go crazy. I didn't get pissed off too much. I was just like, fuck it. I'll come back for the next session. Came back for the next session. We made $970 on that trade. So we ended up in profit around 500 today. Made back this loss too. So y'all are gonna see how frustrated I am right here. Y'all are gonna see how frustrated I am, and I'm just so grateful to him, to that little nigga right there. That little nigga right there, covering his eyes, about to cry like a little bitch. I'm so grateful that he didn't let those emotions show up in the charts. I wanted to fucking crash out so bad, and I didn't. And I'm so grateful for it because now guess what? We're up 200 on the week. Yes, that's not great. I risked 400, so that's damn near break even on the week, but it's Tuesday. I could catch another winning setup and be up 1.5, 2R on the week, 3R on the week. And guess what? Since I didn't tilt on this day, that's the only reason it's possible. We've had this account for about a month now. Let's get back into this. Y'all gonna see how emotional I am.
Like, I'm losing so fucking much, bro. It's mentally draining, bro. I'm trying to be disciplined, trying to use what I learned from my journal to fucking be better, bro. From now on, I'm not taking those one candle rebalances. I mean, it would have worked right here. I remember I showed y'all I wanted to take it right here too, and it would have worked. But I'm not doing that shit no more, bro. Like right here, we got an internal sweep. I need a proper rebalance and displacement. That one candle shit ain't gonna fly, bro. I don't know why sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what I did wrong here.
I'll be honest, y'all, I still don't really know what I did wrong here compared to what I used to do when I took these same setups. I was on the 8 trade winning streak. Most of the setups that I took were just like that right there. So I don't even think I'm necessarily doing something wrong. And I think that's why I was getting so frustrated. But the markets just changed a little bit, and now I have to adapt. Now I need to wait for a proper rebalance and then expansion beyond that. And again, that shit will still fail sometimes. It failed today. The first time. Second time, I smacked for like 2-3 R's. So I do get pretty dramatic in this shit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I get pretty dramatic. Like I said, I keep losing. That's relative. Honestly, I think I only have 2 losing days this month, and all the rest are green, and I pretty much took a trade every single day. But I do take losses almost every day, and that's what's mentally draining for me. Cause normally I don't take this many losses, but we're fixing it. This is why we're analyzing this shit right now.
I feel like I take a fucking loss every day now.
That part is accurate.
Shit is infuriating.
See, and I'll agree with that too. It is infuriating, but only in the moment. Once I leave the charts and I just start doing other shit, it'll pop in my mind every once in a while, but now I'm focused on other shit. I got money to make with DoorDash. I got people to talk to. I got Instagram stories to make. Y'all need to go follow me on Instagram if y'all haven't. That's where most of my content is actually at, on my stories. Y'all can see me day to day. In real life, I'm actively breaking down my mindset and problems that I'm facing, that I'm getting through in real life. That's extremely valuable. Y'all should tap in. It's Brandon Jackson 03. Now, once I have all that other outside external shit to focus on, I'm not even thinking about the charts no more. Like every once in a while, you took a loss. Might pop into my head, but then it's like, okay, why the fuck did I take this loss? Like, what happened? What did I do wrong? I'll just try and figure it out. There's nothing wrong with that. The emotions go away, though. It's not that big of a deal. It's really just an emotional, psychological roller coaster, to be honest. Because I think the second week I had this account, I was 1 day from a payout. Then the third week, I was 1 day from a payout. Last week was the only time I wasn't 1 day from a payout. This week, I only need $650 more for a payout. All those other days when I was 1 day from a payout, I was a little nervous. I felt this fear in me, this tightness in my core that I couldn't get away from. No matter how much I tried to think out of it or outthink that feeling, I couldn't get away from it for some reason. Today, I don't have that feeling at all. I think that's where the emotional roller coaster is coming from, being 1 day from a payout over and over and over, and then doing something stupid or taking a loss and then getting emotional and then doing something stupid and then being damn near one trade from blowing the account and then building it back up slowly. 1 day from a payout, back in the drawdown, one trade from losing it, bring it back up slowly. Like, that's the cycle that I've been on recently, and I'm really tired of it. I think that's why losses are hitting me a little bit heavier now. Today I was cool, but yesterday was just hitting me real heavy. Like, bro, I'm tired of this cycle. I really am. Anyways, let's continue with the video.
I ain't falling for that shit again.
I said I ain't falling for that shit again.
I'm not falling for that shit again.
Nope. And to be fair, I didn't. Watch what happens though. Okay, this is beautiful. I paused this because right now in this exact moment, I just realized something that I do when I backtest that I don't necessarily do when I'm live trading. A lot of the times we'll displace past the candle, and that's where I'll normally enter when I'm live trading. But when I backtest, I let the candle move a little bit. Like, we'll displace up here, and unless we really start displacing, I won't enter until the candle's about to close. Like 15 to 20 seconds. Once we get towards the end. The reason I just realized that is because this candle, I'm watching it, it pushed up, and it's like, okay, I could have entered right there, but then we pushed back down, and then we kind of chilling right here. But then towards the end of the candle, as we're about to close, we start pushing up again. That end of candle volatility, that end of candle displacement, what should we call that? I think I'm gonna call it terminal displacement. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. Terminal displacement. That's not a thing I've ever heard. I'm fucking claiming that shit. Fuck you if you already said it. I claim it now, bitch. The terminal displacement on the candle, meaning like the last 5 to 15 seconds of the candle, when it starts expanding in that time frame, that's usually when I enter. It's hard to explain when I backtest specifically, and my backtested win rate is way higher than my live win rate. And I think that's because when I'm trading live, as soon as I see that displacement, I get kind of fearful that I'm going to miss the move. But when I'm backtesting, I'm just clicking it one candle at a time. Not one candle, 1 second at a time. Thinking back on that, a lot of times we'll get the little displacement that I want to see. But I'm like, the candle just opened. Let me give it some more time. We'll do one of three things. The candle will either sweep the previous candle and then become a retracement candle. It'll suddenly just start expanding really fast, way before the candle's about to close. And I know, okay, this is the displacement that we want, and I'll just enter. Or we'll play around right in here, and we'll come down and come up and not really do much. And then at the final few seconds, we'll see that terminal displacement. And then I'll enter as it's pushing up, as it's about to close. Like maybe with 10 seconds left on the candle. And then sometimes even if that candle is a wick, it still usually continues higher. I think that might be the key. See, look, still 30 seconds left and I'm already in the trade. Let's see what this candle did specifically. Okay, so this candle closes. We come down and we sit in this area for a second. We fill this gap. We start to push up. Okay, but we still have 40 seconds left. And I enter right there with 40 seconds still on the clock. But if we just wait and watch what it does. Okay, it pushed up and I was kind of just playing around. Look, why are we... Okay, when I backtest, we would not still be down here on a good trade that I enter on. We wouldn't come up here and displace with 40 seconds left and then come back down and just play around below the candle. specifically. Maybe if we were playing around up here and then at the end of the candle we started getting displacement, yeah, then you enter. But I entered and then we started playing around below my entry. That's not typical when I back test. Look, still. Look, even when we do push above the candle, it's not that aggressive. See, look, that right there, that was aggressive. And now we have 12 seconds left. Okay, yeah, I probably would have entered there when I was back testing. So I think this was a solid loss overall. Even though it happened on this specific trade, the fact that I noticed I entered with 40 seconds left. Let's say the candle immediately rebalanced for like 10 seconds in here, and then we started pushing up. And then at 40 seconds, we just kept pushing up, and it was like with some strength. Okay, yeah. But we weren't really pushing up that hard. We were like just playing. Like, guys, that's something that I never noticed that I was doing. Let's see what I did here. I took another trade right here. I'm not gonna spoil it too much for y'all. Right here, I did a little bit better too. You see, I'm waiting so much. We push up, then we start to rebalance lower. Like, why are we still down here? You see what I'm saying? We got 9 seconds left and we're still below the candle. It's not like we're playing above the candle at all. Okay, we get a nice little wick. Okay. Now we gotta watch how this candle moves. It's very important. Look at how it's displacing. All right, I'm gonna be honest with that one. I think it was solid. I think I might have. No, I don't even think I entered too early. I think this was a solid ass setup. Everything about this trade looks good right now. And now, honestly, we're already at a 1-to-1. We're already at 30 points. I could have closed right here, but look at this structure overall. This looks like a winning setup, and it looks like logically we're gonna come to all-time highs. That's the next target. But let me show y'all what we ended up doing.
Nigga, let me move my stop, gang. What the hell?
See, I was getting a bit emotional here. I wanted to move my stop to give it some more room, which is somewhat understandable because it's like, why would we not take this out?
I don't believe this shit gonna stop me out here. Bro, so I just close this shit break even, bro. On some real shit.
See, right there, I knew based on that terminal displacement, bro. But we came up all the way up here. We ended up wicking and reversing like this. Pushing up, reversing some more, right? Then, okay, cool. We start to push up for real. I'm thinking, okay, if we're going to be bullish, if we're going to take out this high, we have to start pushing up now. But instead, we start to reverse. We start to push back down again. So I knew, like, yeah, this trade's cooked. But yeah, based on this candle right here, it's kind of artistic, but studying the candle itself, the actual candle's movement, not all of price action, but just the candle itself can tell you a lot. Right here, I knew this trade was going to lose. Now, I am very frustrated, watch.
Bro, this is some fucking bullshit, man. Oh my God. You know, that's just how the market moves sometimes. I did say we might fuck around and edge this high. I'm just glad I went break even, man. Even though I moved my stop. Once we pushed up like this and then started going back down, I had to move my stop. And taking shorts here makes no fucking sense because we didn't manipulate shit. Nothing got manipulated here. So, you know, that's just how the market moves sometimes. I did say we might fuck around and edge this high and then push it back down because the market is just weird at all-time highs. I probably should have just went for a 1-to-1 or just 30 points. Honestly, this trading shit is exhausting, gang. You go on streaks, you think you got this shit down. All of a sudden, when you back test, you lose. You're losing now, and you don't understand why. You're taking losses back to back to back on the charts. Like I don't fucking get it, bro. It's been a rough ass 3 weeks, bro.
So yeah, I actually did say that we might end up edging all-time highs. I don't remember when I said that. It was somewhere in the beginning. You know, sometimes when it's a little too clear, a little too obvious where we're gonna go, we end up not going all the way there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we like took out this draw, then retraced and tried to fill in this gap a little bit later in the week, and then like on fucking Thursday or Friday we shoot up to take out all-time highs. So I actually did anticipate that shit a little bit. But in the moment when I saw the setup, it was so clear to me. And that's a danger. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you have to, like if the setup is super clear, you don't have to just say fuck it and lower your TP because you scared. And let's go over to today. So I took 2 trades today. We opened up and swept out all this liquidity down here. Turtle soup, displacement, Sibby disrespect. We then rebalance. I waited for a full rebalance candle, and then we displaced above it. Now we didn't actually close above it, but we did end up breaking the candle, which is normally how I would enter anyways. We end up just dropping. We didn't even take out the internal high or nothing. I was a bit confused on that. ES was super uncorrelated today though. This was a solid loss. I did everything I said I wanted to do. I wanted to wait on a proper rebalance and then displacement. I did that. We also waited for a Sibby disrespect. Everything just lined up on this trade right here. So I'm not actually mad that I ended up losing this trade. Even in the moment, I wasn't really mad. I was just like, damn, I don't know why this shit lost. I come back at 10:30 and we end up taking out this low on the 15-minute right here. So we took out this low. We actually swept it and created this weird candle right there. I'll show y'all. Let's go to replay. So we actually swept it and made this weird doji candle. That didn't really scare me too much because if we were bullish, we would have reacted to these relative equal lows right here. We would have invalidated this and started going towards all-time highs. But we actually took it out, rebalanced, and then displaced lower, and then took this low out right here. And then also, if you come to the 5-minute, we closed below this low, like well below it. So I was like, okay, more than likely this down here is gonna be the next target. We had an SMT at this internal high, beautiful SMT, and then we start to displace. So once we closed below this BISI, that's when I entered literally right here. As the next candle opened, we entered right there, stop at this high. This was like already a 1-to-1 pretty much instantly, but I didn't want a 1-to-1 because I was super confident in this low. But I didn't target this low, I targeted this internal low. So we end up pushing down some more, just a little bit, and I move my stop to break even once we take out this low. We rebalance and display some more. I actually wanted to trail my stop into profit because in good market conditions, we wouldn't come up to this rebalance high. But it's not good market conditions right now. So we end up actually pushing up. Almost took me out at break even, but we didn't. Then we start pushing lower. I closed on this candle right here at 10.55 once we took out this low. So I ended up catching I think I got filled somewhere in here. I caught like a 1 to 2.5. But we actually did end up pushing down to this low as I anticipated. Look at this action though. This action is some shit. So we ended up in profit around 500 on the day. I forgot to mention in this recording, we actually only lost 300 in total, 330, and my risk was 400. So really good risk management there. And that's why we were able to come back today and really make all that money back. Now, it says I need 284 for a payout, but I think it's actually closer to 700. We need 673, so I would just say pretty much $700. We could get that tomorrow. We might not. I don't really care, to be honest. But let's look at the overall. So first 3 days we won. Then we took 2 losses, which sucked, but we still ended up positive around 450 on the week. The next week, this day really fucked me up because I accidentally risked too much. I got a bad feel, so the loss I took was pretty bad. We pretty much hit daily loss limit actually, and had this been a $400 loss instead of a $1,000 loss, we would have been break even on the week. But we ended up, it looks like we were down 500 that week. The next week, this was the first week of June. We got all of our money back pretty much, but we ended up taking 2 losses on Friday again. We ended up in profit around $600. Then last week was our recovery week. We made 900 and now we're up 200. So right here, it looks like it wasn't that much, but okay, I won this day. Here I took a loss and a win. Won this day, 2 losses, 1 loss. No, I took 2 losses here too. Took 1 loss and 1 win here. I'm not sure why it's split up like this, but 1 loss, 1 win here. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win. 2 losses and a win. So you see, even though these days are green, I took two trades on a lot of these. So I'm still losing a decent amount. I think my win rate, if I calculate it correctly, is around a 48%. I've just been able to catch big wins. But that's what's so mentally exhausting, is because when I backtest, my win rate is actually closer to 70%. Now my RR is actually lower, but knowing I win a lot more often when I backtest is kind of what's fucking me up. And the losses are getting to me a little bit more, even though we're in profit on the account. But that's why I was being a little bit dramatic on Monday. I'm just so thankful that we didn't let this shit spiral. Took a small $280 loss when my risk was literally 400, and then had a break-even trade. And we didn't spiral. We could have literally lost $700 more just like here, and here. But we kept it under control, and we just walked away, and we were able to make that shit up today. The biggest thing I just learned from what we just watched was the terminal displacement. I should wait until the last probably 15 seconds of every candle, depending on how it forms. But usually I should wait a little bit longer before entering. No more one candle rebalance displacement entries. That shit's been getting fried. It's not even worth it. Ideally, I want to just wait for Bissy and Sibby disrespects, but sometimes good setups present themselves that are not those. So my compromise for now is just going to be doing the 2 candle DRD entries. Focusing on entering at the end of the candle, not the beginning, no matter how much we displace. Unless we're really displacing and it's just so obvious that we're pushing. Yeah, just don't go on tilt and you're good. Like, that's it. That's literally it. I'm up 1,500 and I almost lost this account like 3 different times. Like right here, we ended up down 1,500. We only have $500 left, and guess what I risked here? $500. So 1 trade away from blowing it right here. Then we lost another 1,000, and I think I was 2 trades from blowing it. Then right here, we lose 1,500 again, and then I lost again. I literally had like $100 left. This was all 1 trade. I'm not sure why. Oh, it was 1 trade, but I was entering with 1 micro, so I just clicked it 4 times type shit. Yeah, literally on this day after this loss, I literally had about $75 left in drawdown. So I've been close to blowing this account many times, but we keep bouncing back, and that's what I should focus on. If I don't go on tilt, I'm gonna bounce back. Even when I was 1 trade from blowing the account, I bounced back. So that's all I have to worry about. Yes, trading is frustrating. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful as fuck. It's uncertain, but as long as we do what we have to do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So it's 2:30. That's a recap for both yesterday and today. Like I said, we're up 200 on the account for the week. Hopefully we can get a little $700 win tomorrow. Might not happen, might happen. Maybe we'll get a payout, maybe we won't. I don't know. I gotta take a shit. I'm finna catch y'all niggas in the next one. No cap.